Coach, for starters, back home again this weekend to host Gotham at 7:30. Coming off the draw against Chicago last week, got some of the World Cup players back. Kind of just give us an insight into kind of how the mindset of this team is now going into what's going to be every big game, but a big one going up against Gotham this weekend.
Yeah, I think they're fine. Tired, but just trying to piece it all together, get back into a rhythm. Something we've struggled with the last couple of weeks, but just got to get bodies healthy and ready to go, and tweak some things here and there tactically, and hopefully it works. And that's part of why we play the game. So we'll see.
It's kind of a privilege to have the Challenge Cup semifinal next week, but that does kind of change the dynamic. Is there anything different that you take in an approach, knowing that you have potentially 3 games in a week when some other teams in the league will only have 1?
No, I'm not worried about the Challenge Cup right now. I'm worried about Gotham. Haven't even thought about Challenge Cup. I'm not. That's not even on my thought process right now.
And then finally, before I turn it over to questions, I don't know if you saw, but 93,000 people packed in at the University of Nebraska for a women's volleyball game. It was the largest sporting event ever attended for women's sports. Just wanted to see if you had any thoughts on that and kind of what that means to somebody who works in the women's game and what that means for the sports.
I've said it a million times, invest in women's sports. Not much more I really need to say. It's, people either want to do it or they don't. It's there, it's powerful, and people have to put their old thoughts behind and recognize that it's not going anywhere, and if anything, it's going to get bigger, and if they want to be a part of it, now is the time. So whether it's women's volleyball on a college campus in a football stadium, or it's here at Wake Med with 10,000 people, these stadiums should be sold out, and these stadiums should be packed, and we need to start looking at how we do that more, and it's what the players deserve. They work their tails off every single day to play for the fans, just like all these other programs do. And if college programs can get 92,000, we can get 10. If Angel City can get 22,000, Nebraska can get 92. So it's there. It's just people have to be willing to do it and not feel as though it's a liability, because it's not. It's an investment and a positive one, and I don't know what more you need to do between the World Cup, volleyball, our league attendances. You can name it. It's about time that people start doing it.
We'll turn it over to questions. Victoria, if you don't mind leading us off.
Sure. Thanks for your time, Sean. Heading into Gotham and looking back on last Sunday's game, even going 10v11, what were some of the positives and the strengths that you saw from the squad?
We showed some really good character and competitiveness and a spirit about us. It's not easy to go 70 plus minutes in the heat. I think the game sort of changed a little bit when the humidity break came in, just so you know that wasn't supposed to happen. That should have never happened. It's not a rule. The refs made it a rule. But our players competed, and our players found a way, and we still created some good chances. Take the PK out of it, that happens. We created some good chances, and we have to be better in front of goal. But I thought defensively we battled and showed something different than what we've maybe shown in other moments where the game was a little bit more in hand. But I think it's in those conditions at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in North Carolina heat, playing down a player. You couldn't ask anything more of our players, and they were brilliant in how they responded.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, no problem.
Nicholas?
Yeah, Sean, with Gotham, you got Lynn Williams coming back to town, and with a player like that, what tools does the team use to try and game plan for players like that? Is it, some of the old Curl teammates talking about things they noticed in practice, a lot of video, or what tools do you use to game plan for opponents?
We deal with teams, not individuals. From a collective, we have a lot of former Courage players here. So we've played against Lynn, we've played against Deb, we've played against Jess, we've played against Hammy, we've played against Hatchie, we've played against Kars, we played against Kiwi, you name it. We have to prepare for the team. And if we do what we do really well, then we hopefully will minimize those opportunities. The different, look, we all know Lynn's a difference maker. We have to minimize the opportunities she gets. We have to minimize the time and space that they have on the ball to find her. We have to understand the movement she wants to have, and the good thing is a lot of our players know her, but we're playing against Gotham, so they've done a really good job against us and how they press, and we have to be better in comfort, dealing with the high pressure in certain areas. Obviously, I know they've had a bunch of injuries and absences the last couple of weeks, so I don't know what's going to happen this week, but regardless of who's on the field, we have to be ready to go because it's a well-built roster.
How do you think some of the new signings like Monaco might impact kind of how that press has looked against y'all in recent games against them?
Yeah, I think it's her ability to find spaces and hold the ball up and be comfortable and being able to play into her. The thing is how deep, we don't want her to come too deep, and probably want her to sit in pockets to help break lines. But the thing about this league is every game you're dealing, it doesn't matter how many times you play against a team, there's always something different that they throw at you. So until the game kicks in, we won't know until, we're not sure what we're going to have to deal with really. We've seen videos of how they played against us. They've thrown some different ideas at us. So look, we just have to be sharper and more concise and cleaner in what we do. Something we probably haven't done in the last couple of weeks, which, I think we've spoiled some people in how well we've played all year. And now, when we're not maybe at our best, people start to get a little bit antsy. But it's the same people maybe that were writing us off at the beginning of the year, right? So, the same people that may be saying something about how we're playing now because we may drop points here or there are the same people that maybe predicted us to finish dead last in the league. So for us, we just have to trust our players and trust the players that get in certain spots, but it's more than Monaco, it's us. It's not individual. We haven't been individual all year, and we have to find good spaces to help break that press, and if not, plan B to at least resolve the press to allow us to sort of recover rather than play into it sometimes, which maybe sometimes we're a little bit guilty of. But yeah, we'll see what the game brings for sure.
Thank you.
Gibby, any questions from CBS?
Yeah, Sean, this is a little off subject. Castle is going to celebrate its 50th anniversary, 50th birthday, whatever. What has that program meant to the area, the Triangle, and just how prolific has Castle been through the years?
Yeah, look, I'm sitting where I'm sitting right now because of the club. I spent 18 years there, 19 years there, and you look at some of the players that they've brought through. Men's program, the girls program, from what the foundation was of that girls program when I first got here in 2004 to where it is now, and the people we've had come through there. I'm really proud of what we've done there. Myself, my brother, some of the, obviously the other staff that was a part of it that gave us all the success, whether it was Jay Howell, Rusty Scarborough, Michael Malazzo, Paul Forster, Steve Castro. We've brought some really good coaches through that program too, and have helped develop some of the best footballers that this state has seen in country. And from a youth standpoint, we feel one of our goals was to change the way the game is played in the youth game, especially in this state. And we feel we did that, especially on the girls' side. So yeah, it always holds a special place. But my number one thing is hoping that it continues. I don't know what goes on there. It's a massive club, and hopefully that what they've done and what they've built there continues to grow and the development continues to happen. But it should all be about development, right? And that's what we strive for. Development was key, and that should never change. So yeah, look, it's one of the best youth clubs in the country, and it's only going to continue to grow, and holding the standards is what's most important, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
And then Spectrum, anything to wrap us up? Nope. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate your time and patience. So Sean, thank you as always.
Thank you.